I'm so happy these are back. It's my first time owning them in this colorway. It's my favorite colorway of the shoe. Smells like 1997 all over again. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here, man. Look at these things, man. Aren't these gorgeous? They are. But in case you're not aware what these are, they're currently named the Adidas Crazy 97s, but if you were around back in 1997, you already know that these were actually the EQT Elevation, the shoe that Kobe wore in the 1997 NBA dunk contest. Not this one exactly, this one. This is actually the last release of these things, and they are a little bit different. The first thing that I'll say is like, this one feels a little bit heavier. Not by a lot, just a little bit. Second thing is that they removed the 8 that was in the little circle thing right there, which is unfortunate. Like, this is a little hologram and everything. And this one just keeps going back and forth between Adidas equipment. This one went from Adidas equipment to the number 8. Same thing on the tongue logo. It goes from Adidas equipment to 8 on the older retros. On the new one though, I believe this is an original feature, so it actually has the Feet You Wear guy on there, so that's really cool. So Feet You Wear is officially back on this shoe, which it was not on this one, on the previous release. If you wanted a performance review on these, by the way, I did this years ago on this colorway, so you could check them out. Same performance, same fit, all that kind of good stuff. This is just a new version, so we're going to talk about what they feature. And that is an aggressive herringbone traction pattern. Look at this, man, this is dope. Also, this is a great outdoor sole. It's thick, it's lots of rubber, it's everywhere. This is fantastic right here. Fantastic. We also have an article on WearTesters.com where the shoe is completely taken apart, and it's so fun to see that, especially with one of these things, because like each of these rubber pieces is a separate piece of rubber. This is a lot of time that they would put into making shoes like this, where you don't get that nowadays. Now the cushion on these, again, is Feet You Wear. The original shoe was a mixture between EVA and adiprene, I believe, in the forefoot. I don't think that these have adiprene at all. It's not listed anywhere on the shoe, so I don't think that they're that. And then the insole itself is very shit. Wow, this one, wow. I think the Jordan brand does a better job. This is crazy. And hats off to Adidas for sucking on the insoles again. Something interesting though is that, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a little black torsion bar in there and everything, because there is a cavity right here. So if you were to put your foot on, or put the shoe on your foot and then put all your weight, it would buckle underneath all of that, which is what those torsion bars and shank plates and stuff are for. So there is one in there. So again, the shoe's completely playable. It's just not super tech heavy or anything like that. The 90s Adidas stuff really wasn't. Like, they used adiprene, but that's just a Adidas name that they gave to EVA essentially. So it was obviously different densities of EVA, but it still wasn't like the best thing ever. Same thing that Nike did though. Nike did Phylon, that's just EVA. So it's like as basic as it gets.
What does EVA stand for again? I'm just trying to figure out the prene in adiprene.
Ethylene vinyl acetate,
So
also known as poly, is the copy polymer of ethylene and vinyl acetate. Confused yet? But yeah, essentially it's expanded or foam rubber. So it's used for like sporting equipments, paddings. They even use it to like package certain foods or goods and all of that stuff in transit. Obviously they use it in your footwear. So yeah, so when you see like whatever brand using whatever name that they give the foam and stuff like that, and sometimes it feels like bouncy, sometimes it feels dead. The bouncy stuff usually has a little bit more rubber added to the foam. So like that's the type of polymer or mixture that they use. This one right here, it's pretty much all for like lightweight. And so they use it for like flexibility and motion. Not as much like impact protection. These are like the original like kind of court field shoes. Something that I think is also very interesting is you can see all of these support features are actually sculpted into the shoe itself. So it's sculpted into the tooling from the bottom all the way to the midsole. And so I think that that's really dope. You've got all of the natural kind of like flex screws in there that are supposed to aid you in your stride, give you more natural motion and movement. And again, this guy right here, all of this exaggeratedness along the midsole is supposed to just kind of keep your foot on the footbed. So whatever kind of like moves you're doing, like hard plants, changes of direction, lateral movements, etc., it's going to keep you on the footbed so you don't stretch over and roll off of that thing. The materials on these guys are where most of the lightweight aspect comes from, outside of the EVA foam itself. So we've got synthetic pretty much everything. Again, back in the day with Adidas, especially like in my high school era, which is like where this is from, all of the Adidas stuff, this is why like Jordan brand at the time was so good, because they were giving you for like $150, they were giving you premium leathers, premium nubucks. So when you compared something like this to like, I don't know, the Air Air Jordan 12, like there just wasn't a comparison quality wise. Like this is a synthetic shoe with mesh and all of that stuff. It looks really cool, but if you were looking at something like Zoom Air, there's no comparison. So this is, I think, how the Nike and Jordan brand really just kind of like took off and elevated in the mid 90s and everything, mid to late 90s, just because they were doing things that the other brands just weren't. And this is like a clear-cut example. If you were to compare this again with something else that released in that era, Reebok was the same way. I think it was the Kamikaze. The Kamikaze came out the same time as the Air Jordan 11. If you compare the two shoes, there is no comparison. Like one's a brick and then one was the most technologically advanced sneaker at the time. You know what I mean? With the carbon plates and the full air and the file on midsole, the patent, like it was crazy. And it's memories like that, which is why I'm usually harder on Jordan and Nike, especially when they cut corners, because I expect that stuff from this brand. I don't expect it from them, even though we've come to expect it, but we shouldn't, especially for the prices. Speaking of the price, I don't know what these are gonna retail for. I actually grabbed these overseas because they're already available over there. I grabbed them from eBay, so if you were interested, I'll leave a link down below, but that's where I got them from. I don't know when they're gonna reach stateside, hopefully soon, but I don't know. That's what we released this shirt because they were supposed to release earlier in the year and they didn't because, you know, pandemic issues. Also, if you were interested in this shirt, it's not available anymore. We did pre-orders, they're already closed. This is from Sense Apparel. It's a brand that I created. You can go follow it on social, Sense Apparel on Twitter and Instagram. We do have a really cool set coming, so if you're into shoes, especially 80s and 90s nostalgia, then you're probably gonna wanna follow. Everything's pre-order based, and then you get it within 4 to 6 weeks. Premium everything, we don't around. One of the more interesting features is actually the heel area. You got that cross elastic band right there. This is one of the most, just one of the weirdest heel designs ever. And when you get inside the shoe, they're still mad bulky, but man, dude, these things look hella cool. I know that you're not gonna like these, but I really, really like these. I think that these are so dope. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that's exactly what I would order.
Would you say that because all I can do is go off of visuals, and the bottom is so round and just kind of looks like you could roll in any direction you wanted to. Would you say that these are the 90s equivalent of a Kyrie shoe?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, like earlier I was saying like the original court feel shoe, and that's kind of like the modern court feel shoe is like a Kyrie. At least typically, when you hear court feel, like at least for me, I instantly think Kyrie 2, Kyrie 3.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody else is on the same page or anything, but if I'm talking about like 90s stuff, like these feet you wear models are that. You know what I mean? So whether we're talking about this shoe or I think it was the model before it, the Top 10 2000, which we did a review on those retros as well. Those never ended up releasing in the States, which is unfortunate. So I grabbed that pair on eBay as well. I don't know if more colorways of these are coming. I think that this one is coming back, the dunk contest version. I don't know if the original black and white though, it's like the reverse of this. I know that they released last time in like this batch, but this colorway didn't. But anyway, sound off below. Let us know what you think about these. Again, this is the EQT Elevation, or if you're modern, the Crazy 97, but it's not. It's the EQT Elevation. Part of the original Adidas equipment line, which is what EQT was all about. But let us know if you're excited to see these back. Are you going to try to grab a pair? Are you going to grab a pair now from the link below? Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you played in these things, do you feel the same way that I do, where like this is a solid shoe? It's not a great shoe, but it's a solid shoe, especially for the time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support. We will catch you on the next one. So until then, have a good one.